So today I'm bringing you this really simple tablescape that I think is elegant, neutral, kind of all of those things that I tend to really like during Christmas time. The thing that I like the most about this is that I didn't go out and purchase anything for this. So I really just used what I had in my house already, you know, from the napkins to the chargers and all of those types of things. Even the greenery I got either from our tree or things that I've recycled that I typically use all year round. So that's what I'm all about too, is, you know, upcycling things, continuing to use things in your house and sort of finding inspiration maybe, and maybe you have stuff that you didn't realize that you could use. So if you want to see how I did this from start to finish, please keep watching. And if you're liking my content so far, please subscribe, that would be super great. And just like this video if you're liking the Christmas content so far. And this obviously makes me very excited because Christmas is a week away. So things are really kind of coming together, especially when I start doing the tablescape and getting that all together. So please watch the video again if you want to see sort of a step-by-step on how I get this table. Okay, so the first step is I'm gonna actually put down a runner. I'm primarily doing this because I want to put greenery over the top and I don't really want it to scratch our table. You can avoid this step, but this is just like a natural looking kind of burlappy lace that I got from Michael's. So I'm just gonna put that down. Again, more for protection. Okay, and then you could also just put like a garland, just an artificial one, over the whole top. I think this table is like 8 or 10 feet long, so it's pretty long. I love the look too where people are kind of draping it over the edges. I think that looks pretty, but I'm gonna be using some natural. So I've got this natural greenery just from our tree. It's actually a little bit old, so what I would actually recommend doing is looking at Home Depot. Usually they have fresh clippings there. So I'm just gonna kind of lay that through the middle. So I'm layering in some eucalyptus just to add a little bit more dimension. And I just have this faux eucalyptus typically around our house, not during Christmas. So I'm gonna be using that kind of throughout. And then I'm gonna add in some white flowers that I have as well. So just these white flowers, I'm gonna mix those in as well too. These are all artificial other than the evergreens that I first put down. And again, you're just trying to kind of give some layers. All these kind of sticks and stuff will be hidden. Okay. So there are pine needles everywhere, so you just clean as you go. Just trying to keep it as clean as possible, and I'll probably vacuum some of these older ones too. So I'm also gonna add in some of these faux magnolia leaves. They kind of have like a gold accent and then some green leaves. They don't look super real, but to be honest, I kind of just want a little bit more volume in the center. So nothing that I am using today, I went out and purchased like this Christmas season or anything like that. I'm really just using what we have, which I sort of love repurposing stuff. And I have these sort of throughout the garland that we have in our dining room. So that's kind of another thing, is if you're having your Christmas dinner in a room that you also have other decor, try and keep it consistent, or just have like little elements that are sort of similar. That's kind of, you don't have to, but I find that sort of at least makes things a little bit more continuous, and it sort of just has that, sort of more polished look, I guess. So I'm gonna add those in. And I'm just trying to evenly distribute throughout and just make sure that I'm not having all of something in one area, just sort of make sure that it's even. And these I think I got from Michael's as well. So it just adds an element of gold. Sorry, I keep hitting this. So I'm gonna be using this Costco ribbon that I have. Again, it's just like a brown sort of, like a darker brown material. And I'm just gonna be sort of weaving that throughout. I might keep it, I might not. I just, all of this is really trial and error. I have it. And again, I used it on the mantle, and I'm doing that same technique of sort of just, ballooning it out a little bit, kind of weaving it in and out. And this is like a nice way to sort of hide some of those, stems from some of the faux greenery that you've been using. you can sort of use those to kind of hide some stuff that you don't want people to see. So I just have too much, so I'm just gonna cut the end off. Next, I'm gonna add in some candles and some of the LED sort of string lights just to create a little bit more sparkle in the center. So I find if you're gonna be doing like a floral arrangement or something like that, that always looks really pretty too. Just keep the height in mind. I think one of the most frustrating things is when you go to a dinner and the flower height of where the actual arrangement is right where you would sort of be in line with looking at someone. So just either keep things really tall or really short. Typically I keep them shorter just because really tall is a lot more difficult to sort of make. So I'm gonna be today just using actually the greenery that I have here, which I like because it keeps it low, and then also some candlesticks and some votives sort of around with glass. So I'll show you how I do that. Now I'm gonna add in some chargers. These ones I've gotten from Michael's. Again, they kind of add that. That's why I liked the Magnolia in the center, added that little bit of gold that I needed. So I'm gonna be putting these, I'm just gonna set for 6 people. We are having no one at Christmas because COVID. So we will be 3 people, but that's okay. Still fun. And then we'll add the plates and the cutlery next. So I finished all of the plates, silverware, and the glassware. I haven't added water glasses yet, but I would do that as well. You could also add bowls or plates if you're planning on having like multiple courses with soups and different stuff like that. Obviously add those in if you want to. I'm not doing that this year, so just kind of the plate is all that I need. For name tags, placeholders, there's so many beautiful options that you can do. I've seen these really nice ones with wooden beads that you can kind of make people's names on that way. You can also, I like using the pine cone option, and you really just can either place it on the plate, put their name on it, you know, sort of just like slit it into one of the little things. I actually do that for appetizers as well too. If I want to name different appetizers, I'll put sort of that name tag or whatever it is that I'm serving in that, and it just makes for something that looks a little bit festive and natural. But you could put it on the plate, you could put it sort of right in the corner, whatever sort of works for your style. And then napkins is really the last thing that we have to do, and I think that there's just, I'll show you a few different options for napkins because there's just a ton that you can do, but there's some really nice ones that I think will look good on this table. So we'll try that. So for napkins, I have this more like neutral kind of pattern that you can use all year round, which again, I'm super into. I don't want to just have red and green sort of really festive ones that I'm only going to use maybe once every few years. But if you have a certain theme or something that you're going with that year and you want to get something special like that, I think that that's a great idea to incorporate some different color. And then you can do the same thing in your centerpiece. You can kind of add some different picks or different things that you want to do just to make things look a little bit more unique that year and maybe different from what you did the year before. But I'm just going to keep it really simple. So a few different ways that I've seen napkins done. What's been really popular lately is literally just kind of tying a knot in the center and then placing it in the center of the plate. I think that that looks really nice. But then I think what I'm gonna do this year is fold it into thirds and then just have that under the charger and sort of draped over. I would probably iron these first so that there's no, you know, sort of crinkles or anything like that, but I think that that looks really nice as well too. So you can really switch it up, do something different, and make it look unique.